Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It's Wednesday, and the Packers will be back on the practice field. We'll hear from Aaron Rodgers later this afternoon, and then Matt LaFleur after practice, along with a couple other players to be determined. The only news coming off their off day is Tyler Lancaster was placed on the COVID-19 reserve list. We'll see how long he is out for. Um, I've already seen a couple questions in the comments about what that means if he has COVID, if he's been exposed to someone with COVID. The league, per the agreement with the NFLPA, will not talk about that. They won't put that information out there. Maybe somebody reports it. I haven't seen any reporting around it as of yet, but he is on the COVID-19 reserve list. We'll see how long his absence is. Hopefully, not too long, but I would suspect he'll have to be uh, going through protocols for at least a couple days, a couple negative tests before he's back out on the field. Other than that, hitting the practice field relatively healthy. We'll see what's up with Kevin King if he's feeling better, if he's out there this afternoon, and getting ready for the Steelers. It's time to get to work and look ahead. As great as it was to savor that victory over the 49ers, turn the page and get ready for the next opponent. JT, I'm with you, man. Give Slayton more playing time. I'm with you. He had, I think, 2 plays from scrimmage on Sunday night. Needs more than that. Very much agreed. Stash is looking good. Thanks, Jill. Um, when we sign a player of a practice squad, do they have to be on our active roster? Yes, Walter. To your question about Tyler Davis, the tight end they signed from the Colts, they still have actually one. They had 2 open spots. They have 1 open spot remaining. But yes, when they bring somebody off of somebody else's practice squad, the whole, uh, you know, agreement with the NFLPA and the collective bargaining agreement is if you sign a player from a practice squad of an opposing team, they have to come on your 53. That's why sometimes you'll see um, teams will sometimes try to sign a guy off a practice squad, but the team he's coming from will be given the opportunity by the agent to match basically a regular season game check per week. That happens. It's rare, but it has happened where they just like their situation and they don't really want to leave, and the other team is given the opportunity to up the ante, so to speak, to keep them around. Tyler, thanks to the super chat, buddy. How you doing, man? What's the secret to growing facial hair? Asking for a friend, and definitely not myself. Hope you're doing well, Nags. Tyler, that's very kind of you. I don't know, just exist, I guess. Hey, look, you can't grow facial hair. That's one thing, you know. I keep waiting for my white hair to come in. I told my girls long ago that they really screwed up. They were supposed to give me silver white hair. I was going to be very debonair and elegant. Instead, they gave me a receding hairline. So that's why I wear hats all the time. We all got our crosses to bear there, Tyler. Nags, the morning Golden State was on Good Morning Football and on national TV lied to everyone about the Fail Mary. I was at that game. He did not catch it. Klondike, of course, he and Lance Easley are the only 2 humans who are continually going to say that he caught the ball. We all know that's going. They're going to go to their grave saying that, and we'll all know the truth. So it's all good. Travis got to meet Leroy Butler last weekend at a meet and greet. Next weekend, Gilbert Brownson, Tana Dotson, Earl Dotson, Craig Newsom, Sean Jones, and Frank Winters are hosting a meet and greet near me. That sounds dope. That sounds really cool. Morning, Nags. I was a huge Campen fan, but I am also a Stenovich supporter. How much of our O-line success scouting and how much is coaching? Well, they always work hand in hand, right? I mean, Becky, I'm with you. I loved Campy. Campy is the first coach who ever acknowledged Cheesehead TV in any way, shape, or form. First Packers coach to do so. So I always kind of have a special place in my heart. But yeah, as far as the success they've had on the O line, undoubtedly the scouting department has done a really good job, both when Ted was here and now with Brian, of identifying talent. They've done a really excellent job of finding athletes who can do lots of different things and maybe don't have to just be one position. Their MO is traditionally finding athletic tackles that they think can probably fit at guard in the NFL coming out of college. But you can't diminish what Stenovich has done, and not just from a technique, teaching these guys how to play in the league and the things that they are asked to do in the offense, but as far as being a cohesive unit from week to week, regardless of who's in there. I mean, that's what to me is so impressive. And that's where I think you got to give Stenovich the nod because It's one thing to have talented players, and then, okay, yeah, maybe you have an injury along your offensive line and you have to put a guy in there. But the Packers don't wait for injuries specifically. They will legit under Stanovich and LaFleur. They have, I mean, just look back to last year. There have been matchups where they've switched guys around just because they thought the matchup was better. Not, not even injury related. That's really unusual, or it was for a long time in the NFL. Maybe that's going to become commonplace. I don't know, but it is something I was very skeptical of working, and they have made hay out of it. And that's in large part due to Stenovich and his coaching ability. Robert, thanks for the super chat. Any word on MVS? It looked like he got hurt at the end of the game and was not in there on the final drive. Yes, Robert, Matt did indicate on Monday that he would be getting a scan on his hamstring yesterday, on Tuesday. So we'll probably get an update from LaFleur. We'll probably obviously see if he's out there at practice because LaFleur is scheduled to speak after practice today. So I'd be on the lookout for reports from practice this afternoon once they hit the field. Hopefully, nothing major, but we'll see. It did, as you indicated, it did cause him to miss the final drive or two. Corey Erb, thanks for the super chat. Crosby, how blessed are we? Just ask the Vikings. Reminder, he personally saved a TD on that first half kickoff return against San Francisco. Without that stop, we lose that game. So good, so steady for so long. I mean, I thought the same thing, but they went down and scored at the end of the half. So it's not like he completely kept points off the board. But he did make that great play, and it's something that not a lot of specialists would do in that situation. And of course, there's the game-winning kick. The man is a legend, no doubt about it. Yes, Rice fumbled. New York Cheesehead, correct. Jeezy Baby, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. I always love Packers Steelers week. I think my first Packers memory is when Yancey Thigpen dropped a game-winning touchdown. Good old days. Jeezy Baby, you know who was in attendance that afternoon for that game and was legit right there in front of Yancey Thigpen when he dropped it? One Mr. Corey Banky was in attendance for that game. Yes, a classic moment in Packers lore. Milwaukee Slim, thanks for the super chat. When the Packers win, Jermichael and Jennings hide for another week. Go, Pack, go. I've heard a lot. Okay, and obviously Jermichael said the stuff about Aaron in the offseason, what have you, but I've seen a lot of people throwing Jennings into this mix, and I think Greg's been pretty quiet throughout the entirety of the Rodgers drama this summer, and especially this season. I haven't seen anything from Greg. I know, obviously, there's tons in the past, but I think Greg's gotten the message, so to speak. Aaron has repeatedly said it's always the same people, and Greg went, yeah, it's kind of always me, isn't it? Jermichael, he's going to keep talking, whatever goes on. But I just think Greg, I want to give him props. I'm going to rip the guy when he pops off about 12. I gotta acknowledge when he's quiet, and he's been quiet. As far as maybe unless there's quotes out there that I haven't seen, which is entirely possible because God knows I ain't searching out Greg Jennings quotes, but. Let's see. Geno Atkins time? No. What part of Brian Gutekunst and the way the Packers have operated over the last 3-4 years, or even the last decade, would lead you to believe they'd sign Geno Atkins? That's not what they'll do. They'll play TJ Slayton, who played 2 snaps in that last game. You got Tyler Lancaster down. Up steps TJ Slayton. You know who else might get to play finally? Heflin, trash can full of dirt, who played 0 snaps in that game. They develop from within. They don't go sign names. It's not how they work. Marcus, thanks for the super chat. Hopefully we win enough games in a row that you'll need to get a beeswax to curl up the ends of your stash. I'll go Raleigh fingers style. It'd be great. I'll fit right in Williamsburg. Oh my God. Brandy, good morning. How are you? That Thigpen game was the last time we beat the Steelers in the regular season. Shh. What did Strickland? What did Marty say to Strickland in Back to the Future? Yeah. Well, history's going to change. Nagler, is Richard Sherman still good? Why was he released by the 49ers? I think he's good. He's just probably not worth what they were going to be set to pay him or wanted the money he wanted at the time. Who knows? I haven't seen the contract that he signed with the Bucks. Got probably incentive laden, what have you. But I think he can still help a team, no doubt about it. And I think he will help the Bucks. Uh, Nikolai Vishholm, thanks for the super chat. Hello from Denmark. Love what you do. Keep it up. Sorry to absolutely butcher your name, most likely. Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting Cheesehead TV. Thanks for the super chat. Very nice. Very nice of you. We beat the 49ers, and the Chiefs are 1-2, but the Bears still suck. Some things never change. Very true. Will the Bears get more than 47 yards this week? Barely. Just barely. See what I did there? We better dominate the Steelers, or Big Ben will have career numbers against us. Well, one would, you know, yes, it's probably not an either or proposition, but Big Ben is playing the worst football of his career. I don't think there's any question there. And yeah, goodness knows, hopefully the Packers don't give him a get right situation. I mean, that's the big fear, right? That emotional game, big win, defense shows up for the most part on Sunday night, and then come into Lambeau riding high and have Big Ben, who has looked like absolute dog shit so far this season, just light you up. And hey, Packers history is littered with it. That kind of letdown. And it is no time for a letdown. Foot on the gas, baby. Timbo Slice, thanks for the super chat. Love Rogers. Tuesdays on McAfee. He holds nothing back. Yes, it's great. He is unvarnished, and he is very forthcoming. We're really lucky as Packers fans that he has that outlet. It's nice to hear from him and get his kind of mostly unvarnished thoughts on things. We rolling now, running the table. Okay, Chris. Okay, let's beat the Steelers. All right, let's beat the Steelers first, and then we'll talk about running the table. But I like it. I like where your head's at. I'm down with it. Has Slayton been asked to be a guest on Cheesehead TV? Not yet, married guy, but I'm sure that day will come. Is it game day yet, Matt? I wish. God. I see Derrick Henry gets rolling with some tosses to outside. Do you think it would help? Whoa. Do you think it would help A.J. Dillon start rolling too? Well, they just got to give him the ball. He was ripping off 6-yard runs. And then they took him off the field again. Drives me nuts. But hey, whatever he needs to get rolling. He just needs touches. I mean, go back and watch that Tennessee game. We all remember it as like, oh, well, he was pounding them in touchdowns and whatever. But, those first 3-4 carries of that game, he was getting 2-3 yards a pop. And then as the game wore on and he started wearing them down, he's getting 7, 8, 9, 12 yards a pop. And then he's busting off big runs for touchdowns. Barreling through dudes. It's like he really seems like the kind of back that needs a number of carries to get going, and then he's just like trucking fools. But in this offense, probably not going to happen unless Aaron Jones gets injured, which happens. And throughout his entire career, Aaron has missed time almost every single season. So I think, unfortunately, it's probably just a matter of time. And when that day happens, they'll probably give him all sorts of carries, whether it's toss, whether it's, A-gap stuff, whether it's ISO lead, whatever, power, zone, doesn't matter. But he just needs carries. He needs to get into a rhythm. And with the herky-jerky nature of how they utilize their backs, I don't think that's going to be something we'll see unless Jones is down. Now, that said, I love when they use both of them in the same backfield, and the possibilities there to mess with defensive coordinators is just outstanding. What do we got here? Jay, thanks for the super chat. The Niner game was the game that finally made my wife fall in love with football. She felt how romantic football can be. See, Aaron Rodgers was right. How can you not be romantic about football? 100%. Colin, thanks for the super chat. Are you surprised with Cobb's usage so far? No, not really. Smattering here and there. It's so funny that everyone was like, I remember last year when they were the number one offense in the league, everyone was, oh, they need a true slot wide receiver. It's like, I don't think this offense is predicated on that kind of thing. They could certainly utilize him maybe a little bit more in that type of role, but the ability to move guys all over the place, especially when you've got Devontae and you can utilize him in the slot. They killed from the slot with Devontae, just kind of easy pickings all day against the 49ers. Yeah, I don't think it's a surprise that this true slot guy is towards the end of his career is not getting a ton of snaps. Now maybe they utilize him more as the year goes on. I think the interesting thing is you look at the snap counts. Amari Rogers is down there with 2. We were all so excited about the prospect of adding Amari as a kind of a motion kind of X factor, and he's not been utilized at all. I mean, Cobb is obviously getting the nod because he's Aaron's boy, right? So, no, not surprised. I think, again, I think dependent on what kind of defenses they're facing week to week, maybe he gets a little bit more play, things drawn up for him specifically. But for the most part, this offense is about Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, and a sprinkling of Tunyon, and then after that, everyone's fighting for scraps. MVS might get a shot play designed for him, drawn up for him from time to time. Or, coverage rolls to Devontae. You've got that touchdown to MVS on the backside because everyone's so, paying so much attention to Devontae. Um, that's just the reality of the NFL and the fact that there's only one football. So, nah, not too surprised. GBP Daily, thanks for the super chat. Your few video clip posted by Big B on Twitter had me just absolutely laughing. Freaking perfect. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's from Watch Party because holy cow, those refs had me dropping F-bombs left and right. I am nervous every time Amari takes the ball on kick return. You mean on punt return? Yeah, Kylan Hill's doing kick return. Yeah, hasn't been outstanding. It's been less than ideal. And I asked Matt about it last week, and he said it was still very early, which is true, but all it takes is one muffed kick or one bad return to put you in a bad spot and or turn the ball over to lose a football game. So I do wonder how long that leash is going to be because you do have Randall Cobb sitting there, a guy who's done it at a high level for a very long time. Maybe they make that switch eventually, but right now, hopefully Amari gets it going. He's just got to stick your foot in the ground and get upfield, kid. Like so way too much dancing, way too much back and forth horizontally. Got to get upfield, get past that first wave. That's when you make your move. Way too much trying to outflank the coverage units. Way too much of that. Maybe you can do that in college, but it ain't ever going to work in the pros. Mm-hmm. Have the Packers cooled on Lazard? No, not at all, Blake. Not at all. He was out there doing yeoman's work. Those run plays that bust off, a lot of times that's to his side because he's sealing guys. Hell, he's sealing defensive ends. He sealed Bosa on one of Jones's touchdown runs. It's just what I was talking about before. It's just there's only one football. As long as Devontae Adams is on the field, he is going to see the bulk of the targets. That's just the way it's going to work. They haven't cooled on him. In fact, what I love about Lazard is after the kick return at the end of the first half that put the 49ers in position, Matt said Lazard literally came to Mo Drayton and said, I want to be on kick coverage. Can't let that happen. That's leadership, man. That's a guy you want on your football team. And they clearly love the guy. So, no, I don't think they've cooled on him. Riley, thanks for the super chat. It's early, but Bears seem determined to ruin another QB by getting him killed. It seems hard to try to fail a QB harder than the Bears do unintentionally. You can just laugh, baby. You just sit back and laugh. You remember when he had that one completion in 7-on-7? Well, it looked very nice spiral. But Bears fans were like all over Twitter talking about how great he was. Bears fans. It's just fucking adorable. This is so good. They put Bosa in check. I thought they had a really good plan for him. There's no doubt about that. Between stuff with Lazard I was talking about, but definitely Tunyon coming in. They had Big Dog over there sometimes. They clearly had a plan, and they switched up how they ran the football. If you heard Matt on Monday, because of the way their defensive ends play. And they didn't take advantage of it per se, but they definitely ran at them in a way, the zone scheme didn't. They did a lot more man stuff, got chips from the, in pass pro, got chips from the running back and or slid tight ends into the formation to help with him. That one that Tunyon had just absolutely obliterated Bosa. It was just beautiful to watch. But yeah, they had a very, very good plan for him in a way they didn't back in 2019. I loved the balanced offense. So did I when it was balanced. I didn't love the 3 deep shots late in the fourth quarter with playing with a lead. I mean, I get it. You're going for the kill shot. We've all played Madden, but just hand the football off. I don't know. That's just me. That's just something I'm into. All right, everybody. I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Speaking of Cheesehead TV and social channels, we will be live tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern. Myself and Corey Banky coming to you live with the latest edition of Packer Transplants. Make sure you check that out. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.